Hey kids, welcome back to the next episode of the InKredible Kids podcast. My name is Miri, and I will be your host through this incredible journey. We are going to meet many incredible kids. They are going to share with us their stories. Some of them super cool and different like you've never heard before, and some you may say are just ordinary, but all of them incredible. If you have great ideas, email me today at ikidspodcast@gmail.com. And now it's time for
InKredible Kids!
It's time for the joke of the day!
Yay!
Today's joke is brought to you by Batsheva and Yassi E. from New Haven, Connecticut.
Why does the math book look so sad? Because he had too many problems.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the next episode of the InKredible Kids podcast. Today's episode is sponsored once again by Mosaic Press. I like to tell you about things that work for me and my family. And we discovered a special book I'm going to share all about with you shortly, and that we've been reading at our Shabbos table for a few weeks now. And it really has made our Shabbos table more fun, more enjoyable, and something that makes the kids actually want to stay at the table. So you'll hear about that soon. And thank you again to our friends at Yidflix for sponsoring this episode. I want to give a big thank you to all of my new friends who showed up for the InKredible Kids game show. It was so much fun. It was so wonderful meeting all of you. And I hope we have some new listeners here that attended that wonderful event. Hopefully, Mirza Shem, there will be more, and more kids from different places can experience that fun. And today, here we are talking about school. Some people love to talk about school. Some people don't want to hear another word about school. All normal. All totally normal. It came to my attention that in places like Lakewood, some kids already started school like a week or two ago. But I think that most of us are going to school in just a couple days next week. And if you're listening to this as school already started or even during the school year, that's okay, because you're going to hear some wonderful, incredible advice from some very special kids about how they approach school, how they work on having a good attitude towards school. They're going to give some tips and tricks of how to study so that it's not too overwhelming. And we're going to talk about something called time management, which is something that I personally struggle with myself even now. And it's good to hear that there's other people that find certain things challenging, just like you and me. So we're going to talk about a lot of important topics with these three incredible sisters. Miri, Leah, and Rachel are going to introduce themselves later and tell you a little bit more about themselves. I love it because they're sisters who have a great time together, but they each shine in their own ways and they have very different personalities. And even without seeing this, like, this is not a video, you're listening. I think you're going to be able to get a real sense of who they are just from listening to the way they talk, the things they say, and also, like I said, the attitude. It's all good, but all so different from each other. And I hope that you can, relate to one of them in some way. We asked our listeners, how do you feel about school starting? Here's what they had to say.
Hi, my name is Kaya Sara, and I'm 8 years old, and I'm very excited for school.
Hi, my name is Abigail. I'm 5 years old. I'm so excited to start school.
Hello, my name is Ozzy. I'm 7 years old. I'm not so happy because I'm missing all the trips and stuff.
Hi, my name is Jessie, and I'm 7 years old. I love when school starts because it's much better than camp. Hi, my name is Victoria, and I'm 7 years old, and I'm excited and nervous for school.
Hello, my name is Mimi, and I'm 4 years old, and I'm so happy to go to kindergarten because I'm going to make new friends.
I'm Azzy. I'm 5 years old, and I'm excited to go to school right now.
Hi, my name is Shmuel, and I'm 7 years old, and I'm so happy to go to school, but at the same time, I'm also a little bit nervous.
Hello, my name is Aya, and I'm so excited to go to school that I can't wait to go to school. That school name is Beis Yaakov.
Hi, my name is Alan, and I'm 8 years old, and I want school to come back because I had a long vacation and I want to come back to school.
Hello, my name is Shaggy and I'm 6 years old. I'm so happy to go to school because it's the best school and it's so fun.
Hi, my name is Israel and I'm 9 years old. My sad part is I really want to wear Adidas and it really makes me comfortable.
Hi, my name is David. I'm 7 years old. I'm so excited that school is going to start because I'm going to see my friends again.
Hi, my name is Ellie and I'm 6 years old. What I feel about school coming is that I'm going to get to play with my friends again.
Hi, my name is Marcia. I'm 5 years old and I'm so excited for school.
Hi, I'm Das. I'm going into 4th grade, and I'm really excited to go to school because I'm going to have new teachers and new friends.
My name is Miriam and I'm 6 years old and I'm excited for school to be going on.
My name is Matal and I'm 7 years old, and I'm excited to go to school because I'm going to see my friends again and I miss them.
Hi, my name is Shavi and I'm 10 years old and I'm excited for school this year because I'm going into 5th grade, which is middle school, and it's a new building, so that's why I'm excited.
Hi, my name is Spina. I'm 6 years old, and I love school, but I'm also a little scared since I don't know where my classroom is and everyone in my class. Hi, my name is Rosie. I'm 4 years old. I'm sad to go to school because I miss my mommy. I want to hug her. So patient, but I want to hug her and come home. Goodbye, Mommy. I love you so much.
My name is Halasa. I'm 9 years old, and I'm going into 4th grade, and I'm excited for school because I'm excited to see my friends again, but I'm also nervous because I don't know who my teachers are going to be.
Hi, my name is Mosa, and I'm 6 years old, and I started school today, and at first I was feeling shy and homesick, and then I had a great time. My name is Joseph. I'm 4 years old. I'm scared to walk into class by myself because it's the first day of school, and I don't know where my class is.
Hi, my name is Cindy. I'm 9 years old, and what I feel about school is sort of nervous, but also excited.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Rothberg, and I'm very, very old. I wanted to say that I am very excited for school to start because I had the entire summer to rest, relax, and recharge, and I thought of so many fun things to do with my incoming class. But I also want to say that even as a Mora, I'm a little nervous because new beginnings sometimes can be very nerve-wracking, so it makes me nervous, but I'm still very excited.
I am now ready to introduce to you 3 incredible sisters, Miri, Leah, and Rachel from Baltimore, Maryland. Hi, girls. Can you all introduce yourselves? Tell me your names, your ages, what grade you're going to be in this year. Let's start with our oldest.
Miri Katzenstein, going into 9th grade, 14 years old.
And we have next.
Hi, my name is Leah Katzenstein. I'm going into 7th grade and I'm 12.
And
my name is Rachel Katzenstein and I'm going into 5th grade and I'm 10.
Okay, so we have an almost high schooler. Wow, right? I think at this point we could call you a high schooler. We have a middle schooler, right? 7th grade is middle school. And some communities, maybe they don't call it that, but in your school they do, right?
Yeah.
And then we have a 5th grader who is at the pretty much a very important part of elementary school, like the big shots, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all here together. It's August already when we're recording this. And the summer is, might I say, coming to an end. Boo-hoo.
All these days and the summer's gonna sunset. Are we gonna go yet? Are we gonna go yet?
I kind of want to hear from you guys, like how you feel about the summer ending and school starting. And for some people that's super exciting, and for some people it's maybe not super exciting, or maybe they're confused. How do you feel? Who wants to tell me?
I feel like nervous because like summer's so like fun, and then you have to like sit by your desks and be quiet. And I'm also excited.
And also excited. Okay, good. Rachel, that was very interesting. Is it possible to feel 2 feelings at the same time?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think.
I thought so too. I mentioned it in a different episode that, you know, the song, sometimes you could feel 2 feelings at the same time, and that's okay.
Sometimes you feel 2 feelings
feel two feelings at the same time, definitely.
Think so?
Yeah, like a little bit sad, a little bit happy. Like, I don't know, for sure.
Okay, well, I'm with you. And that's kind of like what it's like, right, Mary? How do you feel?
Yeah, for sure.
Starting high school.
Yeah, so I'm nervous to start high school because it's a lot of change. Like, everything's very different and, like, a lot of unknown. But I'm also excited, like, to be with friends again, to get onto, like, a routine of school. Like, I love school. It's so fun. But summer's also, like, more like, it's no work. School has work. There's, like, pros and cons to everything.
Right. Good things about it and things that are hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Leah, let's hear from you going into middle school. Tell me one thing you're excited for.
Like seeing all my friends and also like learning.
Oh, and also learning. So like friends and then learning, right? Well, friends are awesome. And maybe also you weren't with your friends in the summer in the same camp, maybe. Were you apart from some friends?
I've got my friends every step of the way. My friends have helped to shape the man I am today.
Yeah, like I went to sleepaway camp first half and some of my friends went second half.
Okay, so it'll be nice to have that reunion. But learning is important, and I'm happy you mentioned learning, because what's the point of school?
To learn and grow.
That's right, Rachel. The point of school is to learn and grow. Any other opinions on the point of going to school? What is school? Why was school invented? I remember as a kid, like, getting mad about school. Like, when I wasn't in the mood of going to school, I'd be like, oh, who invented school anyways? So I don't know. Who invented school? You know?
No.
That's what I do all the time.
You do what all the time?
Say that.
Oh, you say the same thing?
Yeah.
And what does it sound like when you say it?
It's like me and my friends talk about it and we're like, who invented school? It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, you say that all the time or only sometimes?
Sometimes, but also you have to wake up early.
Correct. For sure earlier than camp.
Yeah.
But also, like, life without school would be, like, terrible. It would be horrible. Like, during COVID, I think we learned that.
Tell me why.
I don't know, like, you don't, like, even, like, there's some friends you'll, like, hang out with at home, but some friends that you're more, like, school friends with, like, you get to see them in school. It's just so fun. Like, you actually appreciate, like, learning, your teachers, everything, once you can't do that.
Right. And during COVID, like, when we were all separated from being with friends all the time, you realize they're like, oh, maybe school wasn't such a bad idea. So we said school's for learning. What else might school be for? Do you have another way of defining school? Like, why should kids go to school?
You're doing something in life, learning, and like you're playing with your friends. Like you're not just like sitting at home.
You're being productive.
Yeah.
Productive means like you're spending your life well, right? So when you're in school, you know you're doing something worthwhile with your time. Who here is the most excited for school of the three of you?
Me.
Yeah? Leah. So what I'm getting from the three of you is that Leah's the academic. You're
Leah's very studious.
Studious. What does it mean to be studious? Rachel, tell me, what does it mean to be studious?
I just know that, like you, like, sit by your desk and actually learn. I'm just, like, jumping.
And isn't it so beautiful that, like, you're all sisters, you're in the same family, like, you have similar genes in your body, because you both, you know, share literally similar DNA, but, like, you could be so different from each other. One sister's, like, psyched about school, and one, am I allowed to say this, about when you arrive at school in the morning? These girls over here live kind of close to me in Baltimore, and when I drop my kids off at school, I see you guys walking to school a lot, right?
Oh yeah, we walk to school because we live like down the block.
Right, lucky you. Lucky. You realize that you're lucky? I don't even know if you think about that.
No, we don't realize.
You know?
I like walking because like when like I start off the day like walking, I'm not like all tired and everything. Like I started off the day like walking, it just like feels good.
Leah, that's a great attitude. I love that. So you start off like refreshed.
Yeah.
It's a little exercise and a little air in your system, fresh air. Mm-hmm. So you walk to school, and I notice you don't really walk together. Like, you're all so close in age, and you would almost think like maybe it would be like a walking pool, but like, you know, one of you would be, and I always would pass your house and see, like, first one of you, then another. Tell me who goes first.
Leah's first, and then me, and then Miriam.
It depends on the day.
But sometimes
It definitely depends on the day. Like, sometimes I shoot out of bed in the morning. sometimes I'm like, oh no.
Right.
But Leah's always the first one.
Because, like, I like being, like, there, like, earlier. Because then, like, I'm, like, I don't know.
The
like,
studious one.
Right. It goes along with being studious and being like, really, really like to be on time, following all the rules. That's you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm going to get back to that in a minute because I would love for you to give some tips to kids that have a hard time with that. I'm a kid. I mean, I'm not a kid anymore. I mean, I guess I am a kid. Am I a kid?
Yeah, of course.
I'm a kid. Why not?
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys and Toys R Us that I can play with.
I'm a kid who struggles with being studious. I want to be studious. Like, I always wanted to be like one of those kids that was like sitting in the front seat, like eyes glued on the teacher, and just, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It sounds
And
like
also,
you could relate, right, Rachel?
Like the smart people, like you always want to be like a smart person.
You're very smart. You're smart and studious.
Oh, you're so sweet, Mary.
I'm smart in some subjects.
Yeah, tell me subjects that you're good at.
Art.
Oh, that is a really important subject, by the way.
It's kind of like a special, but like whatever.
Yeah, but for some of us, it's our most important subject.
I think I'm pretty good at math.
Great.
I think that's all.
That's amazing. Those are two great areas.
As long as you try your best, like, you're good. You only have to, like, try your best, and then you're good.
Right. How does your family deal with report cards? Like, report cards come in the mail, like, a few times a year. And how does your family deal with it?
So, like, really the main goal is, like, trying your best, lots of effort, and, like, derech haaretz. As long as, like, those two things, like, you really try your best. And obviously, if you're struggling, then, like, we'll do something about it. Like, whatever. But, like, derech haaretz and, like, really effort, like, really, really counts the most.
Wow. And how do you know that?
I don't know. Because, like,
I mean, is that, like, your priority or your parents?
my parents.
My mother tells me that as long as I do derech haaretz, then.
What's derech haaretz? I love that. What's derech haaretz? Explain it in case kids listening are like, it sounds good, but I want to be like that. What's derech haaretz?
When you respect teachers, but not only teachers, like people that are older than you.
Mm-hmm.
Also people around you, like respect to your classmates, respect to, like, the area you're learning in, like everything like that.
Kavod habrios, like, it just... Exactly. You explained it very well. Just derech haaretz is just being a mensch also, right?
Definitely.
If you got that, like Leah said, trying hard, doing your best, that's a beautiful way of raising you. I think I used to be like, back in the day, people would be like, your report card came and you got a C- in biology. Like, okay, I'll try harder,
right.
Yeah. It's not the end. It's not like the most important thing in the world. Really, really not.
Right.
But we should for sure want to do well. And like we always talk about it, right? Like, so of the three of you, Rachel was in my class for kindergarten. Rachel, do you remember anything I taught you? Putting you on the spot.
Rachel was obsessed with you, so like...
Yeah, I was.
Well, it was mutual. You know what that means?
No.
It means if you liked me, I also liked you, so it was all good.
I think the whole class liked you.
Aw, that's so sweet.
No, she was like actually obsessed with you, I remember.
Your class was very special. What advice can you give to kids who are just really not excited about school starting? Maybe they're nervous. Maybe they just moved to a new city.
So I would say, first of all, like, think about the good things in school, like what you like about it, opposed to like thinking about the bad things. Like, it could really help get you more excited. And second, also, like, just know if you're feeling anxious, like, first of all, don't like keep it inside. Like, talk to a parent or something. And also just know that like it's gonna, like, the beginnings are hard. Like, they could be nerve wracking. Like, you don't know what class you're gonna be in. You don't know if you're gonna have friends in your class, your teachers, if the subjects are gonna be hard. But just know that like in like a week or two, it's not gonna be new anymore. Like, it's not as nerve wracking to think about that.
That's great. Beginnings are always hard.
It's also very nervous because like I have next year, there are 4 teachers. And 3 of them are leaving, so I don't know, like, I don't even know who I'm getting. I don't know who they are.
Well, what are you going to tell yourself? How are you going to make yourself feel better?
Like, say, like, I can do this. Let's say, like, you're having a hard time in school. You could just say, like, I can pass.
Talk to yourself. Hey, don't go away too long. Stay right there. We'll be right back after this really important announcement. And we're going to hear about how these girls tell us how school could become more fun for everyone. Okay, listeners, by now you know that Mosaic Press makes so many of my favorite books. And a book that my whole family has become obsessed with is 39 Things You Can Do on Shabbos. It's by Rabbi Shaya Winiers. I thought it was cute right away because that's a kind of like happy title, because as we know, there are 39 melachos that you cannot do. But it's so important for us to realize that Shabbos is the day that we can do tons and tons of things. So the book has like these short lessons, and we as a family learn it at the Shabbos table. So we do it at the meal. We've been reading like a chapter. It goes through like really interesting discussions, and it gives questions to test how well you were listening. And it's just like really, really interesting. Like I'm learning things about Shabbos that I hadn't known before, and everybody loves it. Like my kids always say, "Ma, get the book. Let's read it. Let's read it." So we keep it like right with our Shabbos stuff in the dining room so that we know where it is and we don't lose it. And then we discovered that the whole back section of the book has 39 games you could play on Shabbos. Like cute games that like you might play with your friends on Shabbos afternoon, but they're themed for Shabbos. We love to play them at the table. Like one game that they suggest is to play the game Fortunately and Unfortunately. And then you go around the table and everybody says something about Shabbos. You start a story about Shabbos, and it's hilarious. Like we end up just laughing, but it's all themed about Shabbos. So it's like an appropriate way to have fun at the Shabbos table while talking about Shabbos. So it's completely appropriate and engaging for every single member of the family. And I really, really, really think that if you buy this book, you will agree with me. So head to mosaicpress.com, order your book today, 39 Things You Can Do on Shabbos. Make sure you order the one that's for kids, because there's two versions. There's an adult version and a kids family version. Follow the link in the show notes. As always, mention InKredible Kids for an additional free book with your purchase, and transform your Shabbos table today. How could it be more fun? Camp is like so fun. You have color war and color runs and dress up days, and then all of a sudden it's school. I'm like, it's uniforms and it's sitting in a chair at a desk. How can kids get excited about school? Like,
so for me, like my grade is like a party. Like we do obviously like reasonable things, but like sometimes, but we make school like so fun. Like you could do like we used to do like chalent on Thursdays.
Chalent, cha-cha-cha-chalent, go chalent, cha-cha-cha-chalent, go chalent, cha-cha-cha-chalent.
And like it just like added, like we all looked forward to it and made school so fun. And like just like being like also like achtas, just like everyone's like together in this, and like it just makes it like so much fun.
Also in school, like I think lots of schools, especially by elementary school and preschool, go on trips. You could also make trips fun and stuff like that.
Please let this be a normal field trip.
It's sometimes more educational, and sometimes it's more fun to make those trips fun, because it's like you're making your own fun, kind of.
You could also make things like for yourself to look forward to. Like I'm going to pass this test and then I'm going to go out to pizza with my friend, or just like different things with your grade, like just to look forward to.
Right. I don't want to start talking about new knapsacks, because I do think that kids don't need to get a new knapsack every single year. I'm very into that. Like if your knapsack is normal, like it's okay. You could wear the knapsack from last year, but maybe a new knapsack. Maybe it's new school shoes. Maybe it's a new headband that matches your uniform or your school clothes if you're a girl. And maybe if it's new sneakers for, a boy, something cool. Just something to be excited about. I think that newness, I remember when I was in third grade, my mother got me red school shoes, and they had like a strap with Velcro, and I got in trouble actually because I was Velcroing them during class. And should I say the rest of the story?
Go for it. No.
You want to know what happened, Rachel, when I was in third grade?
Yeah.
I was Velcroing my shoes during class, and the teacher told me a lot of times, don't play with your shoes, but it was just so, I love that noise. And she said, that's it. Miss Frank, that was my name. Miss Frank, give me those shoes. She took my shoes for the rest of the day and put them in her drawer and closed the drawer. And I remember walking around without shoes.
I always fidget with my shoes during school. I like take them off with my feet and put them back on.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, the word fidget. I had a hard time sitting and not fidgeting. I think that's really what it was, but I don't know if my teacher understood that. And I think in those days, they didn't really get it so much when kids needed to fidget. And that's something important that we should always mention at the beginning of the school year, is that you have a problem, you can't sit, talk to your teacher about it. right? Did you ever have a problem that you brought up to the attention of a teacher? Like, hey, something's hard for me. Like,
so actually, like, I was in like medium math and it wasn't really working out for me. There's like low, medium, and high in my school. So I spoke to my teacher coordinator and I asked her like maybe I could switch up to high. I could challenge myself, whatever. And like at first, like it was really hard for me because I switched up to high the next year and there was like a gap of information that they learned last year that I didn't learn and they were moving on. So I was like so lost, but I went to my teacher, I spoke to her and she told me that one of her students, like from like past years who already like graduated, she was like willing to help me out of school catch up and she helped me catch up. And in the end, like I ended up doing better in the high math than I even did in like the medium math.
Wow. What made you think to challenge yourself? Like, what made you think to say, oh, like, I can do better than this level?
I don't know. Like, it feels really good when, like, you're like, I think I can do better. Like, I got this. Like, and just, like, working really hard and seeing, like, an outcome. Like, I did better in that class, and it was, like, a harder class.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you did say in the beginning, though, Miri, you said that you pointed to Leah. You said she's the studious one. Right. So, I mean, that sounds pretty studious right there.
Or
at least that streak.
I have a studious side to me. I have, like, both.
Right.
Leia's, like, more, like, only studious. I have, like...
There's always room for fun, right, Leah?
Yeah, Leia's so fun.
Yeah, Leia's super fun.
You guys are the cutest support system ever. You must always get along, right? Always.
Of course.
When I was in Kamashibura, I felt like I need to be challenged more, so my mother called the principal and said that she wants to see if I can try out for like a day or two in my like real class, and I tried it out and I thought it was really hard, but I did it anyways. And then after the Kamashibura in 3rd grade, I was continue getting low grades, and then beginning of 4th grade I would still get low grades, and then at the end of 4th grade I would study like crazy and I got really good grades, like in the 90s.
Never give up, never give in, you can always fix.
Wow. It took time. Like, it's not like you all of a sudden was like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting this.
Yeah.
It took time until you saw that you were actually doing better.
Yeah.
So what did you learn from that?
That like, even if like you're like trying to do something, like it's not going to happen right away. You have to wait a little bit and see if it happens. And if it doesn't, like you can always switch back to the thing. Like if like you really find it really hard.
Right. You were trying it out. It happens to be it worked out in the end. But like if it is too hard, go back and tell them. Say, maybe I'm not ready for this. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Leah, you mentioned before that you're the studious one, right? Okay, whatever. I'd like to think that everyone could be studious at different times. You obviously enjoy learning, and that's so beautiful. There's so many people that want to be in that position of enjoying learning, but they don't know how. You know, it's like a skill. Knowing how to study for a test is actually a talent. It really is. So share your gift with us.
So, like, I know from previous years that, like, when I study with, like, a partner buddy, I, like, study better with, like, someone else to test me, and then I test them. It just works better, and it's funner to do with a partner. And also, Mrs. Block, my teacher last year in 6th grade, when she gave us tests, she usually gave us study guides, because it's not like you're studying it all like the day before the test. She told us like a week before the test, and then I would study like a little bit more, then a little bit more the next day, and then the day before the test I would go over everything. I learned that from Mrs. Block, and now I use it as like my trick. I like before tests I like make a study guide for myself so I could like split it up.
Okay, so your teacher taught you, basically, she gave you a skill. She taught you a lesson on how to study. She's like, you don't just like sit down with all your notes and like jam your brain in one night, right? You start in advance. You start a week before or so, let's just say a week. Was the guide like, okay, you do this on Monday and this on Tuesday?
Like, it was like, on Monday you do Pasuk Dala and like Pasuk Hay, and then you do the Rashis and that, and then the next day like Vav and Zion, and then it's just like...
Right. So basically your teacher made you a schedule, like study a little bit on each day. Like make sure you know it very well each day, a little bit at a time. So the day of the test, you're not all of a sudden, right? Like,
yeah, made it way easier.
Do you know what that's called?
No.
Anyone know? It's called time management. What's that face?
When the teacher like asks a question and then you like have something in your head and you're like, no, but like I might sound stupid if I say that. It's probably not the right thing. Then they say it and you're like, Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Tell me, Miri, what's time management? Time management.
It's using your time like wisely, like managing your time in a good
very
way,
impressed.
like a smart way.
In a good way. I'm very impressed that you even know what time management is. Like that you just finished 8th grade. Like how do you know that term?
I guess from just like around. I don't know.
You seem very street smart to me. Like you know stuff.
Thank you.
You know your stuff.
I think it's always easier to like study with like another person. Like I always study with my mother because I find it the easiest, and like it's so much easier because she like really tests me until I actually know it.
Wow.
Sometimes like you get like distracted when you're with like a partner or something, but like you should like do it like let's say for like 10 minutes without getting distractions, like make sure you do it, and then like do something fun for the next 10 minutes, and then you could like
take breaks.
Take breaks so that it's not like so boring, and then you won't get as distracted.
Yeah, like plan the breaks before.
Yeah.
Like after we study for 10 minutes, we're going to stop. We're going to go back to it. Yeah, okay. Those are really good tips. But what I was saying about time management, I think that a lot of times things are very overwhelming. Like forget the tests for a minute, but like just regular homework and doing all the things you need to do to come into class. Even okay, this is going to sound funny, but even remembering to bring your folder in the morning. Imagine you did your homework and then you left your folder on the kitchen table. Those are all steps that people need to take every single day. Like I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And guess what? Say what?
What?
I'm just kidding. It never goes away. If it's hard for you to like remember steps like that, like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to make my lunch. Oh, I have to. It's part of life.
Right. It's going to go on.
Like I'm an adult and like it's really hard for me to remember like all the doctor's appointments.
You have one unheard message. First unheard message.
Hi, this is Molly calling from Pediatric Dentistry Associates. We're calling to remind you of Nathan's appointment tomorrow morning. And call the plumber and then also if I have a job and also if I have children, Baruch Hashem, and all the different things. And these are skills that you could practice in school.
Wow.
So I'd like to think, and I'd like to say this, I think one of the things that's so beautiful about school is you have a place to practice skills like time management, figuring out how to use your time well, responsibly, and like you said before, Leah, when you said before that you're going to be productive.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, what better place to practice being productive than school? And then of course when you're home, hopefully you'll be productive the rest of your life.
Yeah. Amen.
But
yeah, it's very true. Like even in school, like even if something seems like pointless at the moment, like you're really like sharpening skills for life and everything. Like if something's hard for you, like there's going to be other things that are hard when you're past school and that you're going to have to deal with. So really helps to be in school and be able to like work on that.
Yeah, awesome. We'll be right back to the girls after a short note from our sponsor. Hey, InKredible kids and families. Are you ready for a video streaming experience that's kosher, ad-free, and filled with fun? Introducing Yidflix for every member of the family. From Uncle Maishi's catchy tunes to the Shazak Parsha series, Yidflix has something for everyone. You could choose to pay per month or do it for the entire year. And here's the clincher. There will be no ads that pop up with something inappropriate that you don't want your kids seeing. And they update their content every single day so you'll never run out of things to watch. Go to yidflix.com, YIDFLICKS.com. Follow the link in the show notes and sign up today. And now, back to Miri, Leah, and Rachel. Before we end off, I want you each to tell me one really awesome thing that you love about school. Like what your school does, like for Rosh Chodesh. It could be something you and your friends do. I don't know, trade stationery. Like think about one thing that's super exciting to look forward to about school. And I challenge kids listening at home, by the way. Like I want you to think of your thing now. Like think of your thing while they're thinking now, sitting here in my little studio. I want you to think of something that is really awesome that maybe in the summer you almost forgot. Like, oh yeah, I love that about school.
Right. So what I think I really look forward to like the whole year is in my school, we have like a campaign to raise money. And my whole grade like gets together. We're all like in this together. Like, Baruch Hashem, my school's amazing. So, like, we have to raise money. Like, we make phone calls. They get food. And it's, like, the funnest thing ever. Like, my grade parties. It's, like, a really fun time of the year. So, that's, like, a big thing I look forward to every year.
That's awesome.
I enjoy the 100 day of school. I think it's very active. Like, you're not doing any work. You're just doing activities and stuff like that.
Okay, that's awesome. The 100-day celebration. It's a milestone, right? So start counting. Literally, day one.
And it was the funnest with you.
Oh, thank you. I always loved the 100th day of school. Did I dress up like 100 years old? Bobby Kogelmacher?
Oh, yeah.
I like the electives at like the end of the day.
Cool. Tell me more about them.
I had word game leagues. It was like really fun because like you played against people.
What kind of word games? Like bananagrams?
Like boggle, bananagrams, like tons.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh. I would love that. Bananagrams and boggle are like my favorite things to do. Like I beg everyone to play with me. And I can't always find a partner. I think I'm going to come to the electives in 7th grade this year. I love that.
It's like for the whole middle school. It's not just for 7th grade.
Oh, cool.
Another elective that I did was like middle school newspaper. It was really fun. Like I got to make like pages. Like I made a word search. I made like different stuff, and it was like really fun.
Let me ask you guys one question, and then you could say, parting thoughts if you want. You guys are sisters, and you all go to the same school, and you go to a school that everybody's in the same building, right? Yeah. So what's it like being with your sisters in school, like all together? Honest answers only.
I think like it's really fun. Like we get to see each other in the hallways. Like obviously we're not like together the whole day. It's more like hi bye type of thing. But like it's fun to see like family around school. Just say hi, like what's up? How's your day going? Like it's cute.
Good. So you don't pretend that you don't know them.
Yeah.
Also, I think in school we act really nice to each other. We get along really well in school.
In school.
Also, like, it's, like, fun to, like, surprise them with, like, candies in your locker and stuff. Surprise them with, like, stuff in their locker.
That's so sweet. Do you do that? Is that actually a thing?
But I feel like it's more that older sisters to their younger sisters, and that's why I want a younger sister.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You want to spoil a younger sister.
Yeah.
No, for me, like, when I was, like, I'm, like, the oldest girl, so whenever I was, like, in elementary school and stuff, it was always, like, those girls whose, like, sisters brought them all the candy and the stuff from the middle school sales and the Siums, and like I was one of those kids who were like sitting at my desk like, no, I don't have enough. So me anything. Yeah. So I guess it goes both ways.
I know. I'm with you because I'm the oldest in my family. Nobody spoiled me.
Rachel could spoil me. I don't mind.
I'm the middle, so I like get and I give. So it's
you get and give. Yeah, that's beautiful. Parting thoughts to all the kids out there. You have a mic that will reach thousands of kids.
So I want to make a shout out to my grade, 6th grade. No, 7th grade.
You better say that again.
So I want to make a shout out to 7th grade, incoming 7th grade, for being the best grade ever of B'nai Yisrael, my grade.
No, I want to give a shout out to going into 9th because like really we're the best grade. So yeah.
Let me guess what Rachel's going to say.
I think 4th grade is better than both of your grades.
I think you mean almost 5th grade.
Yeah, almost 5th grade.
Mm-hmm. This is a very like organized sibling rivalry. You know,
yeah, it's good. We all love our grades.
I'm very used to saying 4th grade.
I know. But get used to saying 5th grade. It's in a few seconds. Right?
Literally a few seconds.
Oh, the countdown is on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, school. What are you going to say when that happens?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. I like that attitude. What are you going to say?
Woohoo.
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 Okay, we're getting there. And what are you going to say?
Yay.
Yay. School is cool.
And then I have another shout out to InKredible Kids, and it's really good.
Woo!
Everybody listen to InKredible Kids.
And also,
it's the best.
I also have a shout out to my bunk in a Go to Midwest sleepaway camp, bunk class.
Girls, thank you so much for this schmooze. I really hope that kids listening will get some good ideas about study skills and good perspective about having fun at school, making school interesting, looking forward to the highlights of the year, and all of that great energy that you guys have. I love it. I love the good attitude.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
you.
Good night, good afternoon, good evening, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And now it's time for homework. Oh, come on, not that kind. Okay, kids. I thought that was a really fun conversation, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to it. And if you're still listening now, wow, you have a lot of stamina. That means that you can stay listening and doing something for a really long time. And that's pretty good practice for school, because isn't that what school is all about? Hopefully you have very interactive lessons and your teachers make things super exciting, but there's a lot of listening. So good for you. Okay. So the thing I want you to try to do, and this is something that really anybody can do, is think about somebody that you know that might be nervous about school starting, because so many kids find the beginning of the school year to be something worrisome. We heard some kids say in the beginning of this episode, there's so many things that can be on our minds, like who's our new teacher? What's the lesson going to be like? How can I find my classroom? Will I make new friends? Maybe it's your first year in a new school. Maybe you're going back, but beginnings are hard, and it's a beginning even if you've been there before. So think about somebody who could use some encouragement. Think about a friend that you can call on the phone, or even one of your siblings that you can say, hey, good luck on the new school year. I think you'll do great. And that will make you feel good. It can really do something unbelievable for somebody else just to hear those words from you, and just say to them, you could do great. I know it. You're going to be amazing. You're so smart. You're so talented. You try so hard. And I give you all a bracha that this year should be a year of so much growth and so much happiness, and you should feel good about yourselves, and you should most importantly try your best and have good derech eretz. Everyone, have an incredible year. And I will add that there's going to be a very special video that will be available for you to watch before Rosh Hashanah. That will be available to watch on YouTube or on the Meaningful Minute app. It is a Meaningful Minute and InKredible Kids collaboration. You may have seen our last video, which was on Tisha B'Av. This one is very different, really fun and exciting, and great for kids of all ages. So stay tuned. I can't wait to share it with all of you. Everyone, have an incredible day.
Are you an incredible kid? Send your story to ikidspodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe today to the InKredible Kids podcast.
Thanks for listening, and remember, you are all
incredible kids.